If you love the stories of and the rest of the story, subscribe now. In the small town of Terrell, Texas, the boy everyone called Eric was more than an athlete. He was a straight-A student, a choir leader at church, and a piano prodigy. Eric, you think you're better than us now, huh? One of his classmates sneered after a particularly impressive game. Eric shook his head and walked away. The weight of being excellent in a town where he was judged by the color of his skin, not the content of his character, pressed heavily on his shoulders. His grandmother, Estelle, was his anchor. She saw his potential even when others didn't. "Baby," she would say, her voice firm but loving, "the Lord gave you all this talent for a reason. Don't let small minds keep you from dreaming big." Eric did dream big. His first love was football. He could see it playing under the bright lights of a college stadium, maybe even the NFL. But even as he led his high school team to victory after victory, something gnawed at him. "You ever think about doing something else?" his coach asked him one day after practice. "Like what?" Eric asked, genuinely puzzled. "You've got a spark, Eric. Something bigger than football. You should use it." He brushed it off at the time, convinced that football was his future. But as much as he loved the game, Eric had another talent he couldn't ignore. On Sundays, he would sit at the piano in church, fingers dancing across the keys, the congregation swaying to his music. And in school, he became known for his ability to mimic anyone, teachers, classmates, even the pastor. "Boy, you're gonna get yourself in trouble," Estelle would say, trying to hide her smile as Eric impersonated her stern tone. But she wasn't angry. She was proud. When a friend dared him to perform at a local talent show, Eric reluctantly agreed. He didn't expect much, but when he walked onto that stage, something clicked. He told jokes, sang a little, and even worked in an impersonation of a popular comedian. The crowd roared with laughter, and for the first time, Eric felt a different kind of rush, one that didn't come from scoring touchdowns. "Eric," Estelle said after the show, "you found it. Your gift." Still, he wasn't ready to let go of football. He earned a scholarship to college, but an injury during his freshman year forced him to reconsider his path. "I don't know what to do, Grandma," he admitted one evening, slumping into a chair. "You do know," she said simply. "You just have to be brave enough to follow it." And so he did. Eric traded the football field for the stage. He moved to Los Angeles, honing his comedic chops at open mics and landing a spot on a sketch comedy show. His quick wit and knack for impressions made him a standout. But that was just the beginning. Eric discovered he could blend his comedic timing with his love of music, creating something entirely his own. Years later, as he stood on stage accepting an Academy Award, Eric thought of his grandmother, who had passed away just months before. "This is for you, Estelle," he said, his voice trembling. "You always told me I could do anything, and you were right." Of course, by then the world knew Eric by another name, a name that had become synonymous with talent, versatility, and perseverance. You know him as Jamie Foxx.